It's a marvel of rare device how the British managed to put together an empire that spanned from India to Africa and parts of Asia. And how they put together everything and the logistical challenge of putting this empire together was a huge accomplishment. But finally, 1945 is here, the end of the Second World War. British has taken in so much casualty both home and abroad, and these losses has led to the bankruptcy of the empire. As a result, the empire didn't have the capability to manage their territory just the way they have been doing efficiently for a couple of years. So at this point, the Brits were ready to grant independence to nationalists in different territories that they occupied. One of such territories is actually Nigeria. Inspired by India in 1947, other territories in Africa started agitating and also putting modalities in place to actually end their own self-rule. In Nigeria, it started with the Constitutional Conference in 1946, where the Nigerian nationalists have had a roundtable meeting with the Brits and discussed how the new territory called Nigeria would be administered in an independent setting. So the nationalists of Nigeria didn't have to bleed an eyelid or maybe take up anything, even a stick, to actually agitate for independence. What they have to do was to coordinate themselves, agree on a working formula between themselves, and independence is theirs. This video will be broken down into series so that it doesn't get too long and become difficult to consume. So the battle for Nigerian independence was more like a struggle between the nationalists instead of being a fight against the British, because the British at this point were ready to grant independence. They didn't just have the modalities and the manpower to keep running territories outside their own homeland. So because of that, these guys were willing to leave. They wanted to leave. They were waiting for Nigeria to be prepared. So out of the three nationalists, while Ahmadu Bello was more conservative, he wanted a structure that guarantees the future of the North. In a unified center, he believed that the North is better when the center is stronger. And the population of the North will give them the advantage of what they need in political arrangement as well. Obafemi Awolowo sensed this danger because he was concerned about the dominance of the North at the center. Because of that, he wanted true federalism, where the structure of the center is weak but the regions are strong enough to grow at their own pace. Obafemi Awolowo was more realistic and egalitarian in the way he wanted the structure of the country to be. But Azikiwe was more ambitious because he saw Nigeria as a part of a whole. He saw Africa as a whole picture, while Nigeria is a set of the whole picture. A lot of parallel in terms of idea with Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana.